So imagine the CEO of Apple, right? Imagine him weeping uncontrollably over a piece of fruit.
Right, you literally can't. It doesn't compute.
Exactly. Or picture the head of a massive banking conglomerate getting completely paralyzed by a normal household spider.
Just screaming until someone else deals with it.
Right. We are so conditioned to believe that these billion-dollar corporate empires are just, well, impenetrable fortresses.
Oh, 100%. Every single move is calculated.
Yeah, the messaging is sterile, and every public statement is scrubbed by like 20 different lawyers before anyone even sees it.
Because the modern public relations machine is designed entirely around risk mitigation.
Right.
It's built to be absolutely bulletproof against any kind of public embarrassment.
Which brings us to today's deep dive. We're looking at a stack of source material today that curates some of Taylor Swift's most chaotic, hilarious, and just completely unfiltered moments captured on camera.
It is quite the tape to review, honestly.
It really is. And our mission for you today is to decode this really fascinating contrast.
The duality of it all.
Exactly, because on one hand, we have the meticulously managed, 14-time Grammy-winning, billion-dollar pop culture titan.
And on the other hand, you have an endearingly awkward, highly relatable human being who literally did weep over a piece of fruit.
Right.
And if you're listening to this and assuming it's just, some surface level look at celebrity gossip, stick with us.
Yeah, this is way deeper than that.
It actually is. This is a real-time masterclass in how one of the most hyper-visible people on the planet navigates the crushing pressure of a perfect image.
In an era where everyone is terrified of being mocked online.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She handles that pressure by simply refusing to be perfect.
So let's start by looking at the polished version of that image, just to set a baseline for you.
Good idea. The before picture.
Right. Think back to 2022 at the NYU commencement ceremony at Yankee Stadium. She is standing there receiving an honorary Doctor of Fine Arts degree.
And she played that environment beautifully, man. She was eloquent, poised, but highly self-aware.
She looked out at tens of thousands of graduates and joked that she was 90% sure she was only invited because she happened to have a hit song called 22.
Perfectly timed for their graduating class.
Exactly.
She fully embraces the title, right, Dr. Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
But she immediately tells the crowd she is not the type of doctor you want in an emergency.
Unless your specific emergency is a broken heart and you need a song to cry to.
Right, which is incredibly charming and tightly controlled.
Yeah.
But the contrast to that control, the total opposite end of the spectrum, is the LASIK incident.
Oh, man. The infamous eye surgery video.
Yes!
If you want to talk about stripping away the PR armor, I mean, this is the ultimate example.
I am still shocked this video exists out in the world. She gets LASIK eye surgery, right?
Yeah.
She goes home, and she is heavily medicated on post-surgery pain meds. She's wearing those massive, taped-on plastic protective goggles.
Just looking completely ridiculous.
And her mom decides to secretly film her in the kitchen.
Which is such a mom move, by the way. Right, so Taylor has ripped a banana off a bunch, and she is having a legitimate emotional breakdown.
Over a banana?
Over banana. The reason is she accidentally picked a banana without a head.
Right, the stem broke off or whatever.
Yeah, and she's just floating in this medicated haze, crying over fruit.
But the crucial detail here isn't just that the video exists, right? It's how it actually reached the public.
Oh, totally.
Her mom didn't just keep it for the family group chat to tease her at Thanksgiving. She handed it over to Jimmy Fallon.
On national television.
Yes. Fallon aired it while Taylor was sitting right there on his couch, completely unaware it was coming.
She is sitting there watching herself on a monitor, completely mortified. She's protesting to Jimmy that she was not in control of anything she was saying.
Because in the video, medicated Taylor is defensively yelling at her mom, "I'm not asleep, my mind is alive."
My mind is alive. It's so good.
It's incredible.
But listen, it's not just medical situations where the polished image completely dissolves. The physical clumsiness in high-stakes moments is incredible, too.
Oh, you're thinking of the kitchen fire incident with Gracie Abrams.
Exactly. They are hanging out in Taylor's multi-million-dollar apartment, and a literal fire breaks out in the kitchen.
A legitimate fire.
And the footage of this is just pure panic.
Look, songwriting is a phenomenal life skill, right?
Obviously.
But firefighting is definitely not on her resume. In the footage, she is genuinely struggling with the fire extinguisher.
She can't get the pin out.
Right, and shouting that they absolutely cannot use water on an electrical fire.
Which is true, but they eventually get it extinguished. The aftermath, though, is what gets me.
Yeah.
They are standing there, frozen in shock in a smoke-filled room, and her immediate concern isn't the structural damage to the real estate or the fact that they could have been seriously injured.
No, not at all.
She looks around the wreckage and starts worrying that their purses and shoes are ruined.
Which is just so perfectly human.
But hold on, let me push back on this a little bit.
Go for it.
Because I'm struggling to buy this whole dynamic as just a quirky, fun thing. She micromanages a massive global career down to the penny.
Absolutely.
The stadium tours, the surprise song acoustics, the merch logistics, everything. You can't tell me losing control over a banana or nearly burning down her kitchen is just a fun, relatable moment.
You think it scares her?
That lack of control has to be genuinely terrifying for someone wired to micromanage.
So that is the exact tension we need to unpack here. It seems counterintuitive, I grant you that.
Yeah.
But letting these highly embarrassing, vulnerable moments into the public sphere actually fortifies her armor.
Fortifies it. How does being laughed at make you stronger?
Because of the internet's economy of humiliation.
Yeah. Okay, unpack that.
If the tabloids or Twitter trolls get hold of an embarrassing video of you, their goal is to shame you, right?
Sure.
But by owning the embarrassment, first like laughing at her mom selling her out to Fallon, or voluntarily sharing the story of the kitchen fire, she preemptively removes the media's power to humiliate her.
Oh, wow.
You simply cannot mock someone for a video they are already laughing at themselves for. It's a preemptive strike.
So it's like an armor of awkwardness.
Precisely. She takes the ammunition away.
That makes a lot of sense.
And this physical vulnerability, the fact that she freely admits she can't operate a fire extinguisher or handle pain meds, it actually acts as a training ground.
A training ground for what?
For how she handles narrative vulnerability when the stakes are much higher. Because dealing with a kitchen fire is one thing, but dealing with hostile media interviewers requires a completely different level of strategic control.
Oh, absolutely. The media interviews are where we really see this strategy in action. Let's talk about Ellen DeGeneres.
Let's do it.
For years, daytime talk shows relied on a very specific formula, corner the young female pop star and badger her about her dating life.
It was relentless.
And Ellen was the queen of this. But in one appearance, the script gets completely flipped on her.
This is the episode where she brings Zac Efron on the show with her.
Yes. They are sitting there. And Taylor casually reveals she gave him exactly one guitar lesson.
And the song she chose to teach him is incredibly revealing.
So revealing.
She taught him how to play Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People.
Which is such a dark, specific song choice for a daytime talk show, right?
Totally.
So they sit there with their acoustic guitars, and Taylor turns this into an impromptu live acoustic roast of Ellen's nosiness.
Right to her face.
She starts singing right to Ellen's face about how every single time she comes on the show, it only gets worse, and Ellen is always asking who she's dating.
And Ellen is sitting there with zero defense.
Getting roasted on her own stage while the audience cheers.
The absolute genius of that moment, though, is that she literally sings a line pointing out that Ellen's invasive questions somehow get 5 million views every time.
Oh, yeah, calling out the stats.
She called out the underlying economics of the gossip industry right to the face of the person profiting from it.
I know you make your money.
Exactly. She's essentially saying, I know my personal life funds your YouTube channel, so let's just make a joke out of it.
And she has a totally different but equally effective tactic for dealing with print journalists.
Print is a whole different beast.
Right. During the blank space era, she did an interview where the reporter was just relentlessly trying to bait her into confirming the song was about Harry Styles.
Just pushing and pushing.
Yeah, with that classic tabloid angle. Is this autobiographical? You date, you break up, you date again.
And her response to that pressure is what PR professionals call tactical filibustering.
Tactical filibustering. I love that.
Yeah.
Because she turns the interview into a college lecture.
She really does.
It is a masterclass in suffocating a gossip angle with pure politeness. Instead of getting defensive, she patiently explains that she compares writing music to trends in fashion and pop culture that never really go out of style.
Think about the mechanism of what she's doing there, though.
Yeah.
By answering the question as if she's teaching a masterclass on lyrical theory, she traps the interviewer. If a journalist asks, "Is this about your ex?" and the subject starts delivering an academic monologue about the cyclical nature of cultural fashion trends, what is the follow-up question?
Right. You can't exactly ask, okay, but did you guys hold hands at the zoo after that?
Exactly. You'd look ridiculous.
The mechanism is taking the air out of the room by elevating the conversation to a level the tabloid journalist just isn't prepared to engage with.
She explicitly stated she refuses to name names because she wants fans to listen to the song and picture their own ex-boyfriends.
Leaving the interviewer with absolutely nothing usable for a tabloid headline.
Nothing at all.
So she can be incredibly poised and academic when she wants to shut someone down, but what happens when she decides to just let the chaos take the wheel?
Then you get the Rolling Stone cover story.
Oh, man. The car crashes. This is unbelievable.
A Rolling Stone cover story is a massive milestone.
Right. Usually artists are surrounded by publicists on their absolute best behavior, trying to present a flawless image.
But Taylor decides she wants to show the journalist she's just a, casual, normal driver. She wants to just hang out and drive around the neighborhood.
And she proceeds to get into 2 separate car crashes with the journalist sitting right next to her in the passenger seat.
2. The psychology of how she handles it is fascinating, though.
Tell me.
She admits fault for the first crash, a minor fender bender where she misjudged a turn, backed into someone, whatever.
Okay, fair enough.
But the second crash, they get sideswiped in traffic.
And the journalist is legitimately terrified at this point.
Oh, yeah. He is sitting next to her, actively screaming about how he has a new baby at home and doesn't want to die.
And how does she frame this disaster? She somehow claims credit for saving his life.
Which is wild.
It's so wild.
But by leaning into the sheer unpredictability of the situation, she guarantees that she dictates the resulting narrative.
Right.
She gives that journalist a story so wild and so completely devoid of the usual sanitized PR fluff that the original angle the magazine probably wanted is just destroyed.
You can't write a standard, boring celebrity profile when the subject nearly kills you in local traffic.
You really can't.
Taking control of the narrative like that requires a willingness to drop the PR shield entirely. And she does this consistently by just being brutally honest about her flaws and her grudges.
You see this perfectly in Ellen's Burning Questions segment.
Right, which is designed to be quick, fluffy answers.
Exactly. Ellen asks what she does in the middle of the night if she can't sleep.
Now, a normal pop star says, I write lyrics in my journal, right?
Of course.
Taylor casually admits that she sleepwalks downstairs, completely unconscious, and rummages through the kitchen like a raccoon.
Like a raccoon?
She eats whatever she can find, leaves a massive mess on the counter, wakes up the next morning, and blames the cats.
And when Ellen asks about her most rebellious teenage moment, she doesn't offer a sanitized, fake, edgy answer.
No.
She admits it was when she was 18, and she blasted Joe Jonas on national television for breaking up with her in a 25-second phone call.
And let's not forget, when asked for her favorite curse word in that same interview, she drops a word so severe that the broadcast bleep couldn't fully mask what she was saying.
They had to cut it, yeah.
This unfiltered honesty just completely short-circuits the media establishment. You see it so clearly in her early interview with David Letterman, too.
That interview is a perfect time capsule. It's an older media establishment struggling to categorize a young, wildly successful female artist who doesn't fit their predefined boxes.
Letterman's brain literally glitches. He asks her age, and she politely says she's 20.
And he can't process it.
Not at all. He asks how old she was when she won Album of the Year, assuming it was some childhood achievement years ago.
Right.
She has to gently explain she won it the previous year at the exact same age she is sitting in front of him right now.
And his response to being completely outmaneuvered by her track record is to give her one of the most bizarre compliments ever broadcast.
Oh my God, yeah.
He leans in and tells her she smells like expensive wood.
Expensive wood, which she absolutely loved, by the way.
She still calls it her favorite compliment.
But if you want a physical manifestation of this unfiltered attitude, look at the 2020 NME Award.
Oh, the middle finger trophy.
Right. She wins this prestigious British Music Award, and the physical trophy is a giant, aggressive bronze middle finger.
Naturally.
Any other artist on earth would put that in a glass display case in their studio lobby. Where does she put it? Right next to the blender in her kitchen.
Because it serves a specific psychological purpose for her.
She said she likes being greeted by a middle finger every single morning while she's making coffee to put her in her place.
This keeps her grounded.
Yeah, it's a daily reminder telling her, Taylor, you're at an awards show. Please calm down.
She balances that self-deprecation with some incredibly sharp, hard-earned wisdom, though. The 2016 Vogue 73 Questions House Tour is a brilliant showcase of this.
That tour has so many weird flexes. She casually reveals she's owned countless guitars since 2007, and she considers watching Shark Week to be an adventurous act.
Which is hilarious. But amidst all the quirky details, the interviewer asks a standard softball question, right? What advice would you give to aspiring singers?
Normally, this is the cue for a platitude. Follow your dreams, never give up, believe in yourself.
But she doesn't do that.
No.
She looks directly into the camera, completely deadpan, and bluntly warns them to get a good lawyer.
It's a shockingly dark answer for a glossy Vogue video.
It is. But it's deeply authentic. For anyone listening who might not know the intricate details of music contract law, she was referencing the impending massive dispute over the ownership of her master recordings.
The Scooter Braun stuff.
Exactly. She was facing the sudden, crushing realization that she didn't actually own the rights to the very songs she wrote in her childhood bedroom.
Wow.
She wasn't playing the shiny pop star in that moment. She was a battle-scarred veteran warning the new recruits about the realities of the industry.
I do have to point out one hilarious crack in her media armor, though.
Let's hear it.
Despite all this savvy navigation, she has this incredibly consistent verbal tic. In almost every interview we reviewed, she starts her sentences with the exact same phrase. I think for me, she does it so often, she actually caught herself doing it mid-sentence and forced herself to start an answer over.
At this point, I think for me, would probably debut at #1 on the Billboard charts if she made it a track title.
Oh, it absolutely would. But that verbal tic just proves she is constantly processing, constantly thinking on her feet.
Right.
Which brings us to perhaps the most surprising aspect of her public persona. Her willingness to completely abandon her ego for the sake of total absurdity.
Because she contains multitudes, man. The same person who executes flawless PR filibusters will gladly play the absolute fool if she thinks the bit is funny.
She fully embraces the cringe. Look at her appearance on Jimmy Fallon's Ew sketch.
Classic.
She doesn't just make a polite celebrity cameo. She commits entirely. She plays a 13-year-old girl named Natalie.
Natalie, yeah.
She is wearing a fuzzy pink raccoon sweater, massive fake braces and pigtails. She's aggressively talking about eating apricots and showing off her Band-Aid collection.
You legitimately cannot see the biggest pop star in the world anywhere in that character.
Or consider the footage of her visiting her own Madame Tussauds wax figure.
That was genuinely terrifying.
It really was. She walks up to her wax twin, and instead of just posing for a PR photo, she starts having a full-blown, one-sided conversation with it.
Like it's a real person.
She's explaining to the wax figure how her hands were molded in rubbery goop, and then she just stares into its lifeless eyes and says, "You don't say much, do you? You don't even blink."
And the entire room of handlers and publicists is just watching in terrified silence while she interrogates a candle.
A candle, it's so good.
She had these incredibly specific hyperfixations,
Oh, for sure.
even traveling on a private jet, which is the ultimate symbol of billionaire status, right?
Totally.
She admits she's completely terrified of takeoff.
Yeah.
And her coping mechanism, clutching a Rihanna t-shirt with a white knuckle grip and focusing solely on chewing a piece of steak until the plane levels out.
Just chewing steak and playing to Rihanna.
Exactly.
But of course, we cannot talk about Taylor Swift's hyperfixations without unpacking the center of her universe.
Here we go.
The cats.
Nobody loves their cats the way this woman loves her cats.
Nobody. First of all, the nicknames. She refuses to just call them kitties. She refers to them as her saber-toothed tiger, her baby Wolverine, her magical Pegasus.
And then there is the James Corden cat school incident.
Which is truly a peak moment of cultural absurdity.
Unbelievable footage.
She had just been named Artist of the Decade, right? A historic, legacy-defining achievement.
Yeah.
How does she celebrate? She goes on a late-night show with James Corden, who is dressed up as the head cat, and she attends his literal cat school.
On national television.
She is on her hands and knees, flicking her ears, meowing on command, and fully committing to lapping milk out of a giant saucer on the floor.
She even joked during the segment that the committee might take her Artist of the Decade award away after seeing the footage.
Right.
But she genuinely does not care.
And you can see the exact opposite energy when she is forced to deal with dogs.
Oh man, the dogs.
There's this behind-the-scenes footage of a photo shoot. It's 90 degrees outside, the middle of July.
Just sweltering.
She is strapped tightly into a corset. and the crew hands her a dog to use as a prop.
And the dog immediately steals the prop right out of her hand.
Visibly done. She is just done. She politely lets go of the dog, looks around at the crew, and calmly reminds everyone in the room, "This is why I like cats."
Just completely over it.
And if you ever doubt her feline expertise, Jimmy Fallon made the fatal error of challenging her to name as many cat breeds as she could in 30 seconds.
Which she absolutely crushed. She didn't even blink.
No.
She opened her mouth, and 24 breeds poured out in 30 seconds without taking a breath.
20.
Norwegian Forest, Bengal, Bombay, Russian Blue, Calico, and what she specifically categorized as a cat that knocks pens off desks.
Which is definitely a breed.
It absolutely is.
The duality of that is what's so fascinating, though.
How do you mean?
She will gladly be the punchline of a joke. She will drink milk from a saucer and list cat breeds until she passes out. But the absolute second someone challenges her actual craft, the claws immediately come out.
Oh, the Justin Timberlake interaction perfectly encapsulates that boundary.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
So Justin tries to patronize her during an interview. He's playing around trying to be the veteran in the room. And he says to her, "You're a singer-songwriter from Nashville."
Just dripping with that condescending, aw shucks framing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how does she respond to being minimized?
Instantly. She just looks at him and delivers a surgical strike. Yeah, and I have 6 Grammys too.
Just laid him out.
JT was so completely dismantled by the speed of that clapback that he actually had to call for a waitress to change the subject.
It perfectly summarizes her ethos. She will let you laugh at her clumsiness. She'll give you the banana video.
Right.
But do not mistake that for weakness when it comes to her art.
So let's bring this all together for you guys listening. We started off today talking about the paradox of the modern pop titan, and the contrast here is glaring.
It really is night and day.
She is a billionaire mastermind with a historic, record-breaking career. Yet she is also someone who nearly takes out journalists with her car, gets completely outsmarted by household spiders, and voluntarily attends cat school on national television.
That's crazy.
She proves over and over that you can be fiercely ambitious without taking yourself too seriously.
It's an incredibly rare balance in the entertainment industry. You just don't see it.
You really don't. So I want to leave you with a larger philosophical question to mull over as you go about your day.
Lay it on us.
We live in an era where every single public figure, and honestly most regular people on social media too, are intensely curated, sanitized, and terrified of being memed or mocked.
Everyone is trying to project absolute perfection.
Yeah, exact.
And yet, as we've seen on this deep dive, perfection is not only boring, it's incredibly fragile. The moment you slip up, the internet tears you apart.
Right. So is the ultimate power move actually just allowing yourself to be perceived as a bit of a weirdo?
That's the million-dollar question.
Does true cultural invincibility come from owning your own cringe before anyone else has the chance to use it against you?
It certainly makes the fortress a lot harder to attack.
Because at the end of the day, no one can tear down your walls if you're already standing outside of them laughing at yourself.